Okay, I'm going to call the March 13th Patton Township Planning Commission to order. Do we have anything to add to the posted agenda? Okay, next we will move to approve the February Planning Commission minutes. That's in your agenda packets. Can I have a motion to approve the February Planning Commission minutes? And does anyone have anything to add before we move forward?
I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Okay. Is there anyone that has any comment on anything? Nope. Okay. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed say no. Ayes have it. Moving on to line item 2. Line item 2 is public comment. Does anyone from Patton Township have anything to say on anything that is not posted on the agenda? Items that are related on the agenda should be deferred until we get to that point in the Planning Commission meeting. Okay, hearing no public comment. Moving right along, we will go to line item 3, which is the Grays Woods Plan Community, Brynwood Phase 4 Mass Grading Land Development Plan. I believe we have someone here from Keller Engineering, and I'll let you go from there as well, Leslie.
Okay, thank you. Keller Engineering submitted a land development plan for Brynwood Phase 4A mass grading. It's a 19.91 acre portion of the Grayswood site that is planned to be disturbed. The goal of this is to distribute the cut material from the construction from Grays Point Phase 7A, which brings the two project total to 88.36 acres of disturbance. The stormwater and ENS control measures will be installed to any major site disturbance, and the site is hoping to rough grade in the future geometry for road alignment, stormwater, and the residential building lots, but no other site improvements are proposed at this time. Michael Pratt with Keller Engineering is here with us this evening, and included in your agenda packet is a map location, all of the review comments, and the 11 by 17 plan set.
Good afternoon, Michael Pratt, Keller Engineers. This is a continuation of what was originally proposed in the township in 2020. At that time, it was the Grays Point neighborhood mass grading plan in this area. Grays Point Phase 7A was approved last fall. That's 36 residential lots. They proposed to begin construction of that phase this year, later this spring. That particular phase is going to generate excess earth material, and they wish to place that in a future phase area, Brynwood Phase 4A, which is effectively across Grayswoods Boulevard from the 7A neighborhood. And they wish to place that material in a single, complete fashion, moving at one time. So we prepared a grading plan based upon a future lot and street layout so that material can be conveyed across Grayswoods Boulevard and placed at one time. Calling it a mass grading plan. The plan includes the grading, the placement of the material, as well as a stormwater management solution for that grading activity in the form of a new stormwater management basin in this area to be known as Basin Number 8 that will handle increased runoff from the grading area, because that'll be a conversion from woodlot to meadow, and then ultimately, once this area is developed in the future, would serve as the stormwater management solution for future streets and lots. Backgrounded on the plan is a proposed future street alignment and lots just to validate the grading, which is basically two plateaus, relatively flat areas flowing from plan south to north to the stormwater management basin area. Associated permits are erosion and sedimentation control approval from the Conservation District, and as usual, an MPDS permit from the Department of Environmental Protection. Those permits are under review now. We're here tonight to hear any comments that you may have.
Okay, does anyone have a comment on the planning commission?
I have a question.
Ellen, go ahead.
It's just a question. So are you proposing to cut all the trees down?
Trees have been removed. They were felled last fall. The stumps are still in place. They'll be removed once the permit arrives.
So in the picture that's here, it looks like there's trees still there. This, yeah,
Right, an older photograph, correct. The trees were removed last fall.
okay.
Yeah.
Will you be replanting trees, or is that part of the grading process? Or I'm just not that knowledgeable about the process.
The end of the grading process would be meadowgrass conditions, so not lawn grass, but slightly higher to stabilize the land area until they would develop that area in the future. That time's uncertain. Ultimately, street trees will be planted in association with the future development activity, as well as individual homeowners planting their own landscaping.
Yeah.
Okay. Is the community aware, are the folks in the community aware, I guess, do they know what's going on?
Yeah, we posted the site. So the site's been posted with a big sign. That's the normal what we do. There were some questions last year when the trees were cut down and folks were informed at that point. So remember, in planned communities, we have areas that are designated for development, and we have open space areas that are not designated for development. So everywhere we're going to see new homes and stormwater basins and things like that in the planned community, you can guarantee that they're going to take the trees down because it's fairly dense housing, and there's no way you can build around trees in a situation like that.
And we received no comments from the community at all?
No. No, we haven't had any comments. So this is an extension of the existing neighborhood that's there. So it'll be the same style of housing that the neighborhood is, another phase of Brynwood, which is single-family homes on, I'm going to call them smallish lots,
Yes,
about 8,000 square foot lots, 8,500 square foot lots.
yes.
So my question is, are there any questions, comments, or concerns from staff on this?
No.
And my assumption is you would ask us to approve this and move this forward as it stands right now?
Yes, it's recommended to conditionally approve the plan with successful completion of staff comments.
Okay. So you're looking to grade this land currently, but there's nothing that is in the works in the next year in terms of housing going in that parcel of land?
Not in that parcel that I know of. We haven't been informed. It's typically almost a year-long process to get a plan approved. So.
Right, okay.
And this is for all the dirt that's coming off of the plan that we approved back in 2020. So which you and I were, I think that was our first meeting. Yeah, so, okay.
Okay, is there any comment from the general public? Okay, hearing none, I will ask someone on the planning commission to make a motion.
I'll make the motion that we conditionally approve per staff's recommendations.
I'll second.
Okay, we have a first and a second. Any other comments?
Well, the only other comment I had was it says about a conditional approval. So are you?
That's what we're talking
That's what
about.
we're
They
doing.
talked about conditioned upon satisfying all the staff's comments.
Right. I thought
And also, it's conditional on them getting the environmental permit and everything like that, so we would be giving.
It's on finishing all those comments. So
Yeah.
some of them you'll see are marked, although in this case, they may all be, there's some that are marked if you go to item 6 on the February 10th. It says, please correct ownership information for tax parcel 18-, and it's marked as MT, which is a minor technical issue. That means they haven't finished that, but they will before the plan is signed and recorded.
If the residents of the area have additional comments that they want to bring between the time that it's conditionally recommended for approval by us and the time that it's finally approved?
No, this is the public part of the process. So between now and the board meeting, that'll be on next week on the Board of Supervisors. This is the chance for public comment.
And just to allay her fears, public was notified with a sign.
Yeah, and this plan complies with the master plan so there was a master plan that was developed back in, when was it last updated?
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
And
So
I was also going to
primarily, we're
say,
looking at, is this what was agreed with the master plan? The answer is yes. Is it consistent with, what's zoned for that parcel? And the answer is yes.
yeah, Jim and I
If
were
the
actually.
developer comes, just as a general educational issue, in Pennsylvania, municipalities have very wide discretion when they're creating zoning regulations. When we're rezoning property, we have pretty wide discretion. When we created the zoning regulations for the Grays Woods planned community, had fairly wide discretion about what kinds of units, what kind of housing, density, all those things. Even when the master plan was being put together and there was some back and forth about that, there's wide discretion that the municipality can exercise. When we get to this point in the process, it's more of a, have they met all the requirements? We get to write all the requirements, detail what they are, and Michael goes through a process of figuring out how many homes can fit on this site. Can you build the roads to match all our requirements? Can they do the stormwater to make sure it's done in accordance with all the regulations? And if they do everything that's in compliance with nobody has it, with the subdivision land development regulations, then the township must approve their development. There's no discretion left at that point. That's the way state law says. If you meet all the requirements that the township, the municipality has laid out, then you as developer, property owner, have a right to approval for that plan. So at this point, and we'll get another look at it when they come in with the actual subdivision plan. But there's a few issues that may come up, that may be some gray issues that aren't spelled out clearly in black and white in the code, but most of the issues about the size of the lots, the number of the homes.
And like the green space.
Yeah. All those have been predetermined, and staff's job at that point is really to make, Michael says, I've done everything right. We check it and make sure. Every once in a while we come up and find things that aren't quite right. So there's a conversation that goes back and forth between staff and Michael about making changes. And then almost always you'll see staff's going to be a recommendation is, say, it's a conditional approval, because the plan is never 100% perfect until it goes probably through 2 or 3 more rounds of making sure everything is in compliance with the code. That's the condition means it is those things that staff's identified, says you have to change this. Sometimes there's 1, every once in a while there's 0. Sometimes there might be 50 of them. But at the end of the day, before they can build anything, they have to make all those corrections on the plan. Staff checks it over and over again until we've made sure everything's been checked off. And then they can go build the plan. There's a couple other requirements that they have to take care of even before that. But in terms of approval, so this is the public part of it. And when we're done, then there's the fine detail stuff that's taking place between staff and the developer's engineer.
So would there be a negative? I guess I'm wondering, why wouldn't we just wait till all those things are checked off and then approve it? That gives the public more time to comment.
Because again, there's no value in the process. If the process is here's the plan, they have one thing to change. All they need to do is change that one thing. They've agreed to change it. So it's the plan and that one change, that's all that needs to be done. Why would we, not necessarily why would we, but what's the value in delaying the process at that point?
Oh, it was just to give residents a chance to
Yeah.
come forward if they have any issues and.
At some point, we'll fill the room up.
Yes, we will.
I won't be here, but at some point, you'll fill the room up.
When are you done?
What?
When are you done?
In a couple of months.
Well, those are my
But
That's the
questions.
initiation for the next person.
I know.
At some point, we'll fill the room up. Right, Jim?
Yep. I've been here for
Something will come
those.
along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll probably be-
So if I'm correct, we have a motion to approve and we have a second, but we have not voted yet.
Correct.
Okay, so,
Sorry.
no, there's no sorries. I'm good till Thursday at 10. Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, say no. The ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you, good night.
We will now be going on to item 5, item 4, which is work task for the planning commission and staff. And I think last time we just discussed some possible task and ordering and priorities. And it just says that we'll have more discussion after we have a general code review.
Yes, Doug presented at the board last Wednesday. There were a couple more things that may be coming to you potentially from the board from that general code review. So we're just going to wait till we have a full list. That way you guys can prioritize everything in one shot, if that's okay.
And my question is, when will the GCR be complete?
Next month, right?
Yeah, we should, if not next month, definitely in May. I think we're real close to turning things back into general code. I'm not sure how long the turnaround is, but at least we can compile the list of things that have been pushed forward.
How often does that review process take effect? I'm just curious.
Well, that's the first time since 1994.
Okay. Okay, so, very good.
It probably should be done a little bit sooner. A lot of that review is, there's a few items that, it'll take more discussion and more research to really figure a few things out. But a lot of the other part was just, mostly it was getting rid of old stuff out of the code that really wasn't relevant anymore.
Right.
And it was a matter of fact of going through and, general code who puts the E-code together and stuff and maintains the code books.
Okay.
They went through and they say, well, they don't say is it relevant anymore. They say, do you still follow the practices under this chapter?
Right.
And we go, well, no, we don't. So some cases we just repeal these regulations because they aren't relevant anymore. In some cases it was, we need to go and do some work and figure out, what parts of this are still relevant and what parts can be done away with. And I can't remember what some of the other issues were, but one was junkyards. We don't really have any junkyards, but we have to have regulations. We had a standalone chapter that really should be in zoning somewhere. So that'll be probably one of the work tasks that you will be working on with the rest of staff. So.
Okay, fantastic.
That and cleaned up a few things, and we modernized some language and did a few other mostly housekeeping types of things. But, after 20-some years of amendments and everything,
Yeah,
it gets
right.
a little.
Okay, any other comments on that before we go to item 5, status report on pending items? We have nothing new on the attainable housing update.
Not yet.
Okay. Item 6, any other planning commission business?
I just wanted to mention that when I was at the Center Regional Planning Commission meeting a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago, so that they're doing this connector, the State College Area Connector Planning and Environmental Linkage. So they're taking, it's 322, and they're going to where are they going to route it through? There's like 3 alternatives that they're going to route it through.
Yeah, where are the 4-lane ends, it's just on this side,
Yeah.
7 Mountains to somewhere to connect it to the bypass.
Rather than just be the 2-lane road. So there's a site that people can go to take a look at and see what the options are. And then there's like an open comment period, which ends like March 19th. So the website that anybody would want to go to take a look at the analysis and the presentations to make decisions or ask questions or, whatever. It's at penn.pa.gov, and then you / regional offices / district 2 / constructions, projects, and roadwork /SCAC / pages /PEL, all caps, study.aspx.
I don't have it with me, but there's a much shorter.
Yeah, there is.
Is there?
Yeah, it's actually, it's just.
It's a PA, Penn,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And really where it's going is over by Tussey Mountain, and that's one option.
That's-
Second option is going over Center Hall Mountain was the other, or the connector. So I think they're down to the 3 options.
3 options.
Correct. So that's the over and around Tussey, the connector, or out and around.
So if anybody wants to go look at everything and ask any questions or make any public comments, you've got till the 19th.
Sunday.
Yeah. That was to get it down to the 3 alternatives that are going forward. And there'll be more study and opportunity to comment on the 3.
I actually found it. It's penn.gov, and then it's just SCAC /SCAC, and it goes right.
Oh, penn.gov and then just
Yeah.
CAC? Oh.
I mean, it lists all the things, so it doesn't go directly to Pell, but the Pell study's there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is there any other business that we want to discuss? Okay, do I have a motion to adjourn this meeting? So moved.
I'll give you the second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
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 We are adjourned.
That